see the movie that everyone's been talking about from Pixar, the most recent introduction, Hoppers. I gotta say, it's actually pretty solid. It was not as emotional as most Pixar movies tend to go, but it had its emotional beats, and I think those beats hit still, which is really good. They didn't really go for the jugular, but they definitely went for something more of a tamed option, but it was still hilarious. I think it might be their funniest movie in a very long time. Um, the cast is solid. I thought the cast, like Dave Franco, Meryl Streep, Heidi Klum, Nicole Sakura, John Hamm. You know what I'm saying? Like they got a pretty good cast. I don't know the girl from anything who voiced Mabel, unfortunately, but she's good too. She's really good actually. So just want to start to say, like, everybody has a little bit of a downswing, right? And it was a little bit disturbing for me when Elio bombed last year because it just made me so sad because it looked like an original Pixar film. People have been asking for that, and then nobody saw it. And I was afraid for Hoppers, but it seems to be like it's going to be on a pretty good upswing. I don't know if it's going to break this Pixar curse right now, though. I just don't think it is. It's sad because it's actually really good. I think people would like the story. It's actually focused on like a 19-year-old. We never get that in a Pixar movie like that, right? Like it's cool. Like she's a 19-year-old college girl who loves animals, seems to really care for the environment and the animal homes, trying to stop the mayor from building a bridge through where the animals lived. Now, granted, I'm saying it's a basic environmental story, but Pixar always finds a way to take something like that and just really hit home with it. And they definitely did that, in my opinion. They took the basic story, gave it this really cool science fiction technological way of going about it by having her basically transfer her mind into an beaver android, if we'll say, for lack of better terms, that she can control and kind of move like a beaver, talk like a beaver, act like a beaver, things like that, do what they do, everything. The use of technology in this movie is probably the best it's been in a long time for Pixar or animation, period. And that's crazy coming from like the Wild Robot or something like that. So definitely some elements of that, in my opinion, when I was going through the film, but nowhere near as good. Like the Wild Robot is phenomenal, in my opinion, which I should do a review on because it's awesome. This movie did the the humor. The humor was definitely more of a selling point for this, with a little bit of the emotional stuff in the background. Like obviously, she has a grandma, and it's the opening of a Pixar movie, and I'm like, okay, well, grandma's probably gonna not be alive for the whole film. I was right. It's a Disney film. It's Pixar. They got something got to hurt, right? The main character is actually really cool. Like I said, we never get a college character. I feel like we never really get a character that's in college with Pixar, and the fact that they went a little bit more with a college character, I was hoping for a more mature situation, like maybe some more of like a darker element, but we didn't really get that. But there is one intense moment towards the end where I was like, yeah, this is pretty rough. Not even like rough, but like I could see why, this would probably be better if the kid was in college than like 12, for lack of better terms. So Hoppers was good. It was actually really good. I was like, you know what? I will give this a seal because it is just a solid movie. Fun. It's got that Pixar love, that Pixar magic. The animation is gorgeous. It is such a gorgeous. It is probably one of the most scenic landscape looking Pixar movies I've seen in a long time. The grass movements, the water venting, like everything just looks so clean and pristine. Only thing is, I just didn't know what to really make of certain things. Like I didn't really know what to make of the fact that there was like this like animal council type thing. It was hilarious, but it was also like they were. I thought it was going to be played off as a joke, but then it was like a real thing. Or the fact that like they just the animals were doing stuff and people were just like, okay, like you know what I mean? Like I feel like the people had to not be as realistic as possible for this to work. which is probably my only issue. But the only real human characters we get are Mabel and the mayor and like the scientist people. You don't really get a lot of like the townspeople or anything like that. So I guess maybe that's why it works, because it takes place so separated from like the city of people that it's like in, that maybe that's why it kind of works. All in all, Hoppers as a film, I couldn't go too deep into it, but there's probably somebody else who would. But I would say it's actually worth taking your kids to see. Like I think your kids would really enjoy that. I think everyone's gonna want a stuffed beaver by the end of this movie. Because even I was in the movie there, I'm like, damn, I kind of want a beaver right now. Like it just was in my head, like, I kind of want a beaver, bro. Like I kind of want to build a dam and everything. But the characters are solid. The animation is incredible. The story is good. I'd say Hoppers does precisely what it needs to do, and it didn't have to be too over the top or out there or overly artsy or overly articulate, but still had that Pixar magic, and it worked. They went simple, but they still went Pixar. And I will say, I did enjoy the importance of like mankind's destruction on nature, because it is very true that we do have a bad problem of kind of destroying the vegetation. We kind of need that vegetation to live, right? And I do enjoy the fact that the mayor was an asshole, but then kind of realized he was in the end. Should he have just gotten the moral outing? Probably not. And that's kind of where it falls for me, because I was like, I would rather him not get reelected. As a matter of fact, I'd rather him gotten outed for what he was doing. There's one thing that you see in the movie where it's like, that's crazy. That's out of pocket. But he just kind of gets the moral outing, I guess, which sucks. I don't like the moral outing, at least not with situations like this. I mean, it's essentially how I felt about WandaVision, even though I love WandaVision. WandaVision is one of the best MCU projects ever. But that's how I felt. I was like, the moral outing? Really? That's what we're going with in this time frame? Okay. So, all in all, I would say for the most part, you'll get some really funny stuff. You'll get some stuff you probably didn't think you'd see. Like I said, technology in this movie is so fire. Like if you like this sci-fi stuff, like weird sci-fi technology things of that nature, oh, you'll really like this movie. If you like humor, you'll really like this movie. If you like either of those things, you probably won't like this. But I'm liking the direction that Pixar. Like, let's not do so many sequels and do more original stuff. And I don't know, but like their next thing is Toy Story 5. And that's going to destroy the box office, which scares me, because, Pixar's whole plan of making original films, I'm hoping Pixar can get back to that 2000s glory. I would love to see that. I don't know if they will, but if they do, I'd be happy to see that. Like, I don't think Hoppers is like top 10 Pixar movies for me, but it is a damn good movie. Like, it is a damn good movie. And it's just a good time. Go take your kids to see it. You go see it if you like Pixar. I'd say it's nice to see it in like the theater, because I like to see people when like Pixar. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say on the topic. I think I made a basic summary of the film. I think you guys should go check this out. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one.